Hey guys, welcome back to Altoria B's channel. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. Greatly be appreciated. I am coming on today, and I have been challenged by my son to make oxtail macaroni and cheese. I never would have thought of making oxtail macaroni and cheese, but he challenged me because it was his birthday. So I purchased some oxtails, and I have already washed them, so I'm just seasoning with my basic seasoning, which is complete seasoning, my good old accent, my MSG. You don't have to put it if you don't want it. I put Larry's seasoning salt. I also put black pepper, garlic powder, and onion powder. My hands are clean. This is my food, but my hands are clean and washed. I did add a little browning in it as well to give it color, because I am going to pan fry the oxtail till it turn brown. So I'm just stirring up my oxtail and just making sure that all the browning is over it and all the seasoning that I put on it. Like I said, I use Larry's seasoned salt, garlic powder, onion powder, complete seasoning, black pepper, and accent. I had added a little oil in a pot. I preheated it, so make sure your oil is hot. And I'm just layering my oxtails over in the pot, and I'm gonna pan fry it for about 3 minutes on each. Just making sure that it's brown. And what I did after I made sure my oxtail was brown, I actually used a pressure cooker. You don't have to use a pressure cooker if you don't have one. But I used a pressure cooker because I was pushed for time and I wanted to go ahead and, get my meat off the bone. So I already had brown my oxtail, and I think I had a second batch to brown as well. You may see it in the video, but yeah, I did have a second batch of oxtail, and I'm gonna do the same old thing. I'm just gonna brown it on both sides for about 2 to 3 minutes, making sure that it's good and brown. But it's not going to be done because, like I said, you're going to use a pressure cooker or you can boil it. It's just depending on what you want to do. But like I said, I used the pressure cooker because I wanted to go ahead and it was pushed for time. It was my son's birthday, so this is what he asked for. So I decided to make this for him. So once I pan fried it on both sides, I took it out and I pressure cooked it for maybe I think I pressure cooked it for almost an hour because I wanted the meat to be as tender and cooked as tender, because oxtails is one of those meats that takes a very, very long time to cook. So I added it in the pressure cooker. And like I said, I cooked it for an hour. You don't have to use a pressure cooker, but if if you're gonna use a regular pot and just cook it on your stove, you gotta let it cook for maybe some hours, at least 2.5 to 3 hours. So now it's out of the pressure cooker, and I'm just cutting it off the bone. And I'm just cutting all the meat off the bone, just making sure it was very hot as well, because, it's coming out that pressure cooker is hot, even off the stove. But I'm just making sure I'm getting all the meat off the bone. And I would have never thought of this, but it actually was good, y'all. Trust and believe. I never would have thought. I know they doing the shrimp macaroni, lots of macaroni and cheese, all the different seafood, but I never would have thought of oxtails, macaroni and cheese, and it was delicious. So I had my boiling water on for maybe a good 2 to 3 minutes with some salt. I always add salt and a little extra virgin olive oil in my water when it's boiling for my noodles. I don't know. I just seen my mama do it all the time. I don't know why they do it, but I think it's to keep it from sticking, your elbow and your noodles from sticking. But I'm back over here cutting up all the meat off the bone of the oxtail. And I'm chopping the meat. Now that I got it off the bone, I'm chopping it very small. Just, chopping it up to get as much and most of your meat. Because you want the oxtails to be throughout, the meat to be throughout the macaroni and cheese. And I'm just chopping. Just be careful when you're chopping because I almost caught my finger, but... And so right here, I am going to make my roux for my sauce for the macaroni and cheese. And what I did is added a half a stick of sweet cream salted butter, and that's a half a stick. And this to make your roux for your sauce, for your macaroni and cheese. And I just let that melt down. And then I added some flour. And maybe like a tablespoon of flour. And you want to stir that until it's almost like a light brown color. You just want to stir the butter with the flour. And I think I added another half a stick of butter. So I ended up adding a whole stick of butter in there. And like I said, I do not measure. I cook and taste as I go. I don't like measuring. To me, it just takes too much out of cooking. So now I'm draining my my pasta elbow noodles because they're good and tender. And you want to make sure that your noodles, whatever noodles you choose to use to make your macaroni and cheese, just make sure they're tender. So now I'm adding heavy whipping cream. And I use that whole entire carton of heavy whipping cream because I want a lot of sauce when I'm making the sauce for the macaroni and cheese. And you want to just continue to stir that around until it starts getting thick. Now with your cheese, you can use whatever cheese you would like. It don't matter what, it's depending on what cheese you like. But I'm whisking my sauce because you want to make sure you whisk it because you don't want that flour taste in your macaroni and cheese. So now I'm adding the rest of my heavy whipping cream because, like I said, I want a lot of sauce. I want a lot of sauce in mine. I want my macaroni and cheese to be cheesy, not dry at all, cheesy. So I added some cream cheese. I added like 5 slices, I want to say 3, maybe 4. 4 slices of cream cheese, original cream cheese. Because that cream cheese is going to help that sauce get a little bit thicker. And you want to add your little salt, pepper. And right here I used the cracked black pepper. I don't know why I just decided to use that kind, but you don't. You can use regular black pepper. And I added a little garlic powder. You don't have to put a lot of garlic powder, just, some sprinkles. And you could tell that the sauce is getting very thick. I did add a little accent to my sauce to enhance that flavor. You don't have to. Like I said, you don't have to. And you see how the sauce is getting thick. You do not want to burn your sauce, so make sure it's on a low medium. I use Kobe Jack and sharp cheddar, but like I said, you can use whatever cheese you want, but them the cheese that I had used. And you can add more cheese if you would like, but now you want to whisk your cheese and get that sauce to going. make sure it's a good consistency. And if you find that it's too thick, add a little more heavy whipping cream. So now I'm adding my noodles over in my baking pan. And I did add an egg. And when you add that egg, you want to make sure you go ahead and when you add that egg, go ahead and whisk the egg, because you do not want your egg to cook when you add the hot sauce into the noodles, because you're going to have eggs. Like, you want to turn it like I'm turning it before you add that the sauce from off the stove. So now I'm adding my oxtail that I have already chopped up, and I'm just putting it throughout the macaroni noodles, making sure it's evenly spread throughout the macaroni. And then next I am going to add my sauce. And see how that sauce comes. You want your sauce to be as creamy like that, not too stiff. You want it creamy. And you just want to make sure that it's stirred throughout your noodles, and make sure your oxtail meat is throughout your noodles. So every bite you want to taste oxtails. And you just want to stir, incorporate that thing throughout the macaroni and cheese. And like I said, I never would have thought that this would be a good recipe, but it was delicious. And I'm not a macaroni and cheese person, and I like it. Just something I can put on, do again. And now that I have it stirred and it's evenly, stirred throughout, I'm adding more cheese on top. And then I'm going to place it in the oven on 400 for 25 minutes. 400, make sure your oven is preheated to 400 for 25 minutes. Because all you're doing once you put your macaroni and cheese in the oven, you just baking it to make sure it sticks together and your cheese is melt all the way through the noodles. And like I said, you can add whatever cheese you want. I added Kobe Jack. And this is the end result. It's looking good, right? But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to Altoria B's channel. It would greatly be appreciated. Enjoy.